everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to look at the McFarlane DC Multiverse Collector's Edition Powergirl. I pre-ordered her for the McFarlane toy store. She arrived today, so let's take a look at the package. As you can see at the top, 22 moving parts, McFarlane toys, ages 12 plus, DC Multiverse Powergirl, McFarlane Collector's Edition. Here she is in the package. We have a total of 6 hands, collector's card, display stand, and her cat Streaky. One side of the package, Collector's Edition Powergirl from Powergirl Reborn. This is the 31st figure in the Collector's Edition subline. At the bottom, there's her barcode, if that helps anybody. As I understand it, these have shipped from McFarlane and are also popping up at Walmart. And at the back, here she is posted up from the comics. So with no further ado, let's open her up. And I did get the entire way for the McFarlane toy store. I took advantage of the bundle discount, my Platinum membership discount, the coupon code, and got these for a very fair price. They actually overpriced the bundle, and it sold out very quickly at McFarlane, even with the pricing issue. I emailed them, and they gave me a partial refund. After shipping and taxes, I paid $72 for these 3 figures, a significant savings over retail, which would be about $110. Alright, now that this figure out of the package, here she is with all her accessories laid out. We have a collector's card, display stand, 6 hands, and Streaky, her cat. Before I take a look at all that, let's talk about and check out the figure. So this is Powergirl. She's pretty much Supergirl from Earth 2, and she's very voluptuous, kind of a sex symbol. She's known for her tickle bitties. That is just her thing. Always shows a lot of cleavage, but she's kind of a cool character as well. She's a member of the Superman family. She's part of been the world's finest. Add her to the Earth 2 sort of ranks. And I'm really happy to add her to my collection and my Justice League. Her face looks fantastic. The hair looks great. The eyes, the lips, the mouth, it's all there. It looks much better than the art on the back of the package. She's got shoulder armor on one side, not the other. You can see some big old features right there. And honestly, they're not quite as big as they usually are on the comics. Mine is a little sort of black smudge on the shoulder there. Not a big deal. Small cloth soft goods red cape, double jointed elbows, double jointed knees. I can see some reuse from Wonder Woman and Superwoman, but we'll check that out in depth later in the video. And a closer look at her face and head sculpt. Oh, sorry, her eyes are up here. A closer look at her face and head sculpt, which I think they did an excellent job on. The hair, the eyes, the lips, the nose, it all looks excellent. Like I said, much better than the actual source material they put on the package. And then here's the figure, broken down as far as she can go, with all of her removable parts detached. Now let's check out her accessories, starting off with the boring stuff. Here's her display stand. Typical McFarlane display stand we've seen countless times before. The only difference is this one has a silver DC at the bottom because it's part of the collector's edition. And then we have her collector's card. I'm not really a fan of the art style. I don't know. McFarlane Collector's Edition. On the back side, there is a description. If you want to read that, pause now. Fortunately for my taste, I think the figure looks significantly better than this. Now let's check out her hands. She has a total of 6 of them. 3 left hands and 3 right hands. Here she is with her first pair of hands. These are her fists. Here's her next set of hands. This is a pair of open hands. Could be some flight hands. And here's her third set of hands. This is a pair of gripping hands with trigger fingers. Now let's look at Streaky. This is Powergirl's cat, and she's a member of the Legion of Super Pets. So, it's sort of an, I guess, orange tabby cat. It's got a lightning bolt on the side. It has 0 articulation whatsoever, and that's not a surprise to me, although that is disappointing. It's got a cloth soft goods cape with the Superman logo on it. It has green eyes. Now, Streaky here has a lot of powers. Streaky can read and write. She can fly. She has heat vision. She's invulnerable and has superhuman speed and strength, like a little mini Superman. Here's Streaky next to Crypto and Ace the Bat Hound. She's considerably smaller, although she's a cat, and these are pretty large dogs. I guess we have our own little League of Super Pets forming. Now we're going to talk about her cape for a second. So it's a cloth soft goods cape with a bendy wire. Outstretched, it goes about this far. And you can sort of make it take some different poses, different shapes. So I wanted it to sort of look like it's going in the wind. I would sort of rotate it up and sort of bend it around, sort of like that. And just sort of push the other side out as well. And then you kind of have that going for her. Pretty simple version of that, at least. Now to check out the differences of reuse between Powergirl and Wonder Woman. Obviously, the heads are completely different. The torso part is actually different. The diaper is also different. The arms look to be the same until you go to the sort of forearm armor and gloves. The legs look to be the same until you go to the boots. And I think it's a pretty good base body for Powergirl and for Wonder Woman. Very pleased with both these figures. Here are all the figures that utilize that base body. It was first introduced on Superwoman for the Crime Syndicate. Currently we have 4 of them. There's going to be a 5th one whenever I get the platinum version of Powergirl. Now that I'm taking a pretty good look at both the figure and her accessories, let's check out her height. From bottom to the top of her head, standing about 7.6 inches tall, which can translate to just over 19 centimeters. Powergirl is significantly taller than Wonder Woman, and this Wonder Woman was a pretty tall figure when she came out. You can see Powergirl has quite a bit of height against her. She stands about 7.6 inches tall. Now look at her legs. Most of Powergirl's height is from her boots, her feet. They're a lot taller than Wonder Woman's. You can see where the ankle joints are, and see how the knees don't line up. That's what gives her sort of unusually tall height. And for articulation, starting with her head, of course, she can rotate side to side. She can look up, not too much, down quite a bit. Can tilt her head at least a little bit from side to side, actually quite a bit. Shoulders on a ball joint goes out more than 90 degrees, up, down, around. She's got those butterfly rings between her shoulder and chest, increasing the range of motion, and more importantly, covering the giant gap that would be there. Bicep cut below that. Double jointed elbows. Her wrist can rotate, and it's hinged as well. Torso is one solid piece. Typically there's a cut here and here. She's got a ball joint in the waist. Rotate around, forward and back. Legs complete of splits, McFarlane style hip joints. Rotation is minimal at best. Legs go forward, about that far. Back not much. Double jointed knees. And her ankle. Forward and back. Rotate. Tilt, rock, and she does not have toe articulation. Here's a look at Powergirl, hovering the skies of Earth 2. Now let's check her out next to some other action figures, starting off with some other Powergirl figures. Here she is, next to my other Powergirl figures. These are both by DC Direct, and they all have slightly different costumes. The first 2 are pretty similar, the last one is from the New 52. Of course, I plan to get the other McFarlane Platinum version, and then I'll have 4 Powergirl figures. Here's Powergirl next to Huntress, and Powergirl is enormous. Powergirl and Huntress were teamed up in the New 52 on Earth 2, and they made up that Earth's version of the World's Finest Team. They had their own comic series and everything. Here's Powergirl next to a couple of Superman figures. And here's Powergirl next to all the McFarlane DC Multiverse Supergirl figures. Here's Powergirl next to the rest of Superman, Superman allies, and Superman family members. We have the Connor Kent Superboy, Steel, Supergirl, Superman, Powergirl, Val-Zod, John Kent Superboy, and Crypto the Superdog. And then here's Powergirl next to the often criticized for being too large and too tall Hush Batman. But boy, she makes him seem like he's kind of small. So here's the McFarlane Collector's Edition Wave 1. Every single Collector's Edition figure has a Platinum Chase variant. Here are both the regular and Platinum Chase variants of the first appearance Superman, the Abyss, and Alan Scott Green Lantern. And here's the second wave of Collector's Edition figures, both regular and Platinum versions of Firestorm, Hawkman, and Sinestro. Then, the third wave of Collector's Edition figures, we have the Death and Return of Superman, Captain Carrot, Batman as Green Lantern, and Wonder Woman. Here's the fourth wave. This wave consisted of Penguin, Starfire, and Captain Boomerang. And here's the fifth wave of McFarlane Collector's Edition figures, both the regular and Platinum Chase variants of Sergeant Rock, Connor Kent Superboy, and Manga Batman. Here's the sixth wave of Collector's Edition figures, both versions of the Red Hood, Clock King and Dr. Time, Ragman, and Agent Liberty. And finally, here's the seventh wave of McFarlane Collector's Edition figures, both the regular and Platinum Chase variants of the Dark Knight Returns Batman, Huntress, and some Green Lantern Corps members. We have Tomar Ray, Evan Sewer, Arcus Chumuk, and the Green Man. And then here, next to the 8th wave of McFarlane Collector's Edition figures. Finally, I have this wave complete. Both the regular and Platinum Chase variants of Lightning Lad, Sun Boss Green Lantern, Geoforce, Grid, Christopher Reeve Superman, and finally Mr. Terrific. It's been a long time coming, but I finally have this wave complete. This wave was unusually large. Usually it's just 3 figures, maybe an exclusive, but this one had 4 figures and 2 different exclusives. The next wave is going to consist of Powergirl, Guy Gardner, Green Lantern, and Captain Cold. Looking forward to those, and looking forward to finding out what the Platinums are going to be. And here's the Collector's Edition Wave 9. Captain Cold, Powergirl, and both the regular and Platinum Chase variants of Guy Gardner. I'm on the hunt for the Platinum Captain Cold, and a Platinum Powergirl, and for the new Batman Wave from the Dark Knight trilogy, Batman Begins. If anyone has a lead on where I can get them, please drop me a line in the comments below. It is much appreciated. Now let's check her out next to some of their recently released McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. Here she is, next to the Joaquin Phoenix Joker and Franklin Murray 2-pack. Here's Powergirl, next to the McFarlane Toy Store exclusive Icon. And here she is, next to the Tarte exclusive Gold Label Orion and Wildcat. Then, next most recent Page Puncher wave, both the regular and Platinum versions of Shazam and Captain Thunder, the comic version of the Christopher Reeve Superman, and both versions of the animated Red Hood. And now, next to the King Kong vs. Batman 3-pack, here's Powergirl, next to the most recent Batman wave, both the regular and Platinum Chase variants of the Silver Age Batman and the Noel Batman, the Platinum Batman vs. Spawn Batman, and all 3 versions of the Neo-Gothic Batman Beyond Batman. And here she is, next to the Justice League Task Force wave, Aquaman, The Flash, Superman, Batman, and both regular and Platinum versions of Darkseid. Then, with the GameStop exclusive Frostbite Nightwing, and the Amazon exclusive Batman that came with the Backlighter, and now with the Amazon exclusive Court of Owls 3-pack, and finally with a couple of recent Mega figures, the Planet Ron Red Swamp Thing, and the Zack Snyder's Justice League Armored Darkseid. This is one that came with a throne. Now let's check her out next to some action figures from different various companies, so we can see how she fits in, both scale and style-wise, in case you want to know which lines you can mix her with. Since she's a McFarlane toy, they're typically the 7-inch scale. I'm going to start my comparisons with some of the larger action figure lines I collect, and work with smaller. But first, let's check her out with some of her McFarlane Toys brothers and sisters. In front of you are 5 different action figure lines, all from McFarlane Toys, all 7-inch scale. And now, with some Jakks-specific resin figures, and some Diamond Select toys, here's Powergirl, next to some washing machine cleaner. And here she is, with some DC Direct and NECA figures. Then, with both some Mattel and Jazzwares resin figures. And now, with some Mezco and Mattel DC figures. Next, with some Mafex and Hasbro Marvel Legends. And finally, with some SH Figure Arts and Jazzwares Fortnite figures. So overall, I think it's a very nice Powergirl figure. I think her face, head, hair looks excellent. I think her cape, it's okay. I'm not a fan of the really short capes with the soft goods and the wire, but it is accurate to her and actually poses okay. I'd say the biggest complaint I'm going to have is her height. She is way too tall. They messed up and added something to her ankles, boots. Something made her super, super tall. And I really like tall women. It actually matches with the sort of body type that she has. But she is damn near bigger than the entire rest of the McFarlane DC Multiverse line. You cannot say scaling is not an issue with her. If I were to rate this figure, first thought, 8 out of 10. Great looking figure. But when you put her next to other figures, she just towers over them. So I'm going to end up giving her a 7. But I think she looks good enough to be an 8. But man, she's too tall. And I'm sure people mod her, find a way to shorten her a little bit. And that's really what you need to do. It's something with the ankles or the boots. As you saw next to Wonder Woman earlier, her knees were way higher up than Wonder Woman's. And they use the same base body. Still, it is a very good looking figure. I just wish she wasn't quite as tall. So this is D Hunter. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say with the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.